Bronze Leaguers. They're terrible. They should just go away. But what we have here is a Neoplanet-esque game between this man, who's currently at 1 game in this best-of-3 series, who may very well be going to a rematch with Gosu User, who only narrowly beat him, remember. His name is...
Complexity Hendralisk!
He is in the red trunks. He is playing Zerg to the southwest. Versus his opponent, up to the northeast position in the blue trunks playing Terran, he is...
FXO Neeb!
Alright, well, let's see what we see. Pretty standard wall-off here for Neeb. And then we see the hatchery first play from Hendralisk. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. But then again, that's kind of how the last game started as well, so Lord knows what that's leading into. Hendralisk claiming there might be a bit of lag here. We may need a pause. We'll see what Neeb has to say.
Yeah, I mean, there have been issues with players having some, you know, stuttering issues with StarCraft being open too long, the infamous page pool memory error.
Yes.
Has happened before. None for me. Damn Canada, says Hendralisk to his fellow Canadian. Or I believe Neeb's Canadian, is that right?
I don't think so, actually.
Well, well, Hendralisk being totally appropriate with that comment as expected. He would never say something out of line.
No, naturally. Naturally. Neeb's going to get the expansion here. Hendralisk, this time around, yeah, that Overlord is going to survive quite nicely. It's going to put itself on the ridge there, which is absolutely wonderful, given great information. Neeb, of course, may choose to clear it out later on with a Viking. But we're seeing the same Gasless Expand style. Into what, though? You know, that's the strange thing.
Yeah.
If Neeb goes for the same thing and Hendralisk goes for the same build, then I would expect similar results. And we could talk about the definition of insanity if you like, but I don't think that Hendralisk is going to be in a bad spot if he ends up doing that.
Yeah, I think that Hendralisk on this map especially has to be very careful about going for really anything that doesn't have a lot of good anti-ground at the start. In the game 1 that we just saw, Hendralisk had no defense at all. It was literally, these 3 queens better be enough, which means I hope my opponent only builds Hellions. And I actually hope he only builds some Hellions, because if he goes up to like 8 to 10, I die instantly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in this spot, yeah, there's 2 more queens coming out, much more conservative build. This map, there's just too many attacks that can pop out. I mean, look at Hendralisk's vision right now. That Overlord is easily missing all the Marine movement out of the front. It sees the bunker, but not anything north of that. And you can't really do any assumptions as to what your opponent's doing, because, look, there's not even an Overlord for Hendralisk to have spotted the gas in the main. Could very well be a 6 racks in the main attack.
Yeah, the only thing he knows is that there were 3 Marines in that bunker, because he saw 3 firing slits, and that was about it. That's all he knows. So Link's going to move out. Oh, I thought he was going for a double Link scout there, which actually would have been slick, because if he pulled those Marines out of position, he could have actually got into at least the natural there, but no, didn't work out the way that he planned. We're now seeing the factory play down, and most likely we're going to see... We're actually seeing 2 more barracks behind this, so he's not going straight into the starport here, even though he has a ton of gas to do it. Okay. So we're going to see Hellion play. What's he going to do with this 300 gas, though? Where's that going?
Ooh. Now, there's a number of places it could go. What I'm hoping it's going to be is a Hellion Marauder shove. He's hiding the barracks. You don't normally hide the barracks. You normally land your barracks right next to the factory, so that way you can, as quickly as possible, begin researching STEM. But because Neeb moved this far back, it looks like he's going to go 3 barracks with Tech Lab and just go mass Marauder with STEM. Hellion Marauder pushes are very difficult to deal with in the current metagame, and is something we will absolutely not see at all, because there's a Marine being built right now, Totalbiscuit.
Well, never mind. But yeah, I mean, you're totally right. This was something that was... There's 2 more reactors coming down behind this as well. This is actually kind of odd. But anyway... It was something that was kind of gaining popularity towards the end of Wings of Liberty, I feel, because there were times when it could work to really do damage early game to the Zerg and slow down that inevitable slow grind towards Broodlord and Fester. But every old trick is new again now, I think. We're seeing so many old builds come back because the meta has changed, but these Hellions are going to do absolutely nothing. There's way too many queens. There's already 6 queens on the map, so there's no chance of this doing anything, but... Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced by this. There's the lift up. There's only 6 Hellions on the map now. It's going to lift up and build another reactor, which I assume is just going to be swapped around, and we're just going to see straight-up bio.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's probably going to be going mines with this factory. Yeah. He's going basically for 2-base bio mine. Ordinarily, this build that we're seeing out of Neeb has 2 tech labs, so he can get stim and combat shield and do a sort of Marine Marauder push with medevacs and these 6 Hellions. It's quite strong, but in this case, it looks like it'll just be a Marine with stim medevac push, which is reasonably strong, but it looks like Neeb is going for follow-up push too.
Neeb actually getting some good engagements here. He's taking down a lot of drones, and I thought, hey, you know, 3 Queens is enough to get anything. The problem is that they spread the creep out so far that they don't know which angle these Hellions are coming from, and as a direct result, they weren't able to react quickly enough, and that's 12 workers killed by Neeb. That's a great start.
A very, very solid game. Units lost tab looks gorgeous for him. 1 unit lost. All these wonderful little corridors allow him to pull back, but oh my god, terrible command center placement for Neeb. What are you doing? This is horrible. Hendralis sees that the command center is starting just now, so if you're in Hendralis' shoes, you're going to go, why are you building a command center now? You mean you didn't open 3 command center? Oh, I guess there's an attack coming, and 10-minute is always the attack timing for Terran. So suddenly this drop that should have been a huge surprise is now totally prepare-for-able, but it looks like Hendralis actually didn't pick up on the signal, which is shocking. I mean, that is a late 3rd command center.
Yeah, it really is. The Roaches are now moving back. They were so far off creep, though. The response time is really poor here for Hendralis. Neeb, once again, guts the 3rd base mineral line and is going to go in for that as well. And then we've got the drop that's going to go right to the main. I'm not sure what Hendralis was planning on doing here, but it's definitely not working. And now the Marines are moving into the base, and they're going to kill Queen after Queen after Queen. Great transfusers here. Hendralis microing and actually controlling really well. Good lord. But, you know, making up for some of those little past blunders. But there's not enough units here. And Neeb is just going to now waltz into the main mineral line, catches a roach that was misrallied, and has done a ridiculous amount of damage with this.
This is just going absolutely beautifully. 5 Marines at a time, plus Widow Mine production, combat shield en route. And at the end of the day, Neeb can always just lift up and head on home.
Off he goes.
So good. And he sees the Spire, but he also sees no Mutalisk. He should absolutely continue to drop despite seeing the Spire. Hellbats, unlike Marines, cannot shoot up. The Marines will be able to defend themselves.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good here and continues to poke at it. And Neeb is in a great position now, and half down to great strategy and half down to Hendralis just being flat out unprepared for what was coming. As you accurately pointed out, seeing that CC at the front should be a read, but it's very easy for us as commentators to say he should have known this, but it's in the middle of a game. It's more difficult than it might seem. You of course know that, having had a great history as a pro player, so you're well aware that it is possible to just misread something or just focus on something else.
It's so easy to go into autopilot, just to say, okay, here's my build and this is my build, and I've prepared my build against this set of strategies, and Neeb's doing something outside that set of strategies. Well, too bad, I didn't prepare for that. And this, I think, is one of the greatest moves that Neeb did this entire attack. As he's on the retreat, scans just the cusp of that creep spread to deny it along that right side. I honestly think that expanding to the north is incorrect. I think expanding to the right side is correct. He's denied the creep spread on that side. Yeah. So Neeb making himself a little bit more vulnerable, but I mean, other than that, playing freaking beautifully.
Hendralis with only 4 Mutalisks. This is going to do nothing whatsoever against this. Absolutely nothing. But we are starting to get to the stage of the game. Things are actually getting really weird because Hendralisk is building a bunch of... He's actually building Roach upgrades as well. He's getting the Roach speed, which I think against this... Because this is just pure Marine medevac right now. There's no Marauders. There's only 2 mines. He's building a second factory, so he will be bringing mines or at least Hellbats or something into play. But getting the Roach speed is actually kind of cool right now, considering what he's up against. But... Neeb has a big army. Those Banelings are out of position, and they don't really have speed either, so Neeb's going to have no problem so far. Pushes forward, gets a bunch of creeps. Tumors denied as well. Still needs to be careful here. He's in no man's land.
One more scan would be just almost game-ending. Just pick off all that creep. Then Neeb would literally need to regroup and then shove one more time. Hellbat's coming out. Neeb pulling back yet again. Not a bad decision at all in the unit count. Just 2 Widow Mines. He is actually going for Hellbats. Actually, is that a second reactor? Yep. This is so difficult to deal with. I mean, Neeb is dominating this game.
Yeah, playing really well. And now here comes the engagement, and the Baneling's kind of caught behind here. Pre-spread quite nicely. maybe too many Banelings, honestly. There's a lot coming at him right now, and this gets cleaned up, but the supply count is looking really good. 11 Marines, Marauders, and 4 Hellbats at a time coming in. And Neeb just stands tall and says, I can kill this. I have the units to clean this up. Roaches are really dreadful with no upgrades against Medevac Marines, especially considering they have 1-1. They're about to have 2-2. There's that scan you were hoping and praying for, which was as beautiful as you anticipated. And now Neeb is hammering forward, and he's going to be pushed back here, but it's the next wave with the Hellbats. It's going to be really, really messy.
Yeah, Neeb, man, playing... It's an entirely different player between games 1 and 2. I mean, after the initial failure of that drop just seemed to fall apart, but here, Neeb in command looks unstoppable. We see 4 Hellbats being produced at a time. Macro from Neeb is going really, really remarkably well.
Yeah, he's cooking so much right now. It's insane. He's not slipping up at all.
And 2-2's finished. Wow, nice timing. 2-2 finishes, and the Hellbats at the front lines with the armor upgrade.
You're going to need a sacrifice to the Dark Gods, I think, to stop this push. But we'll see. Another connection comes in, lots more Marines coming in. Banelings are about to pop. If somehow they kill everything, then maybe Hendralisk is back in this. But I don't think that's going to happen. The spreading is pretty good for what it is. The Mutas are now coming in. The Marines with 2-2 are just cutting through this, and here come the reinforcements behind it. He batters his way through with a sledgehammer approach, and it's more than enough. GG. There it is.
Wow.
He puts it right back on the board there.
Really the reason I like this map, all the excellent attack opportunities that are there, and I mean, just wow. Wow, Neeb played an amazing game.
Yeah, he did. He really, really did. That was awesome. And as you said, it's weird watching Neeb in Game 1, where he kind of flounders around and doesn't look like he's a match, and then Neeb in Game 2, in both of the series that he's played in this tournament so far, it's just an entirely different player. He plays incredibly well.
I mean, it really kind of goes to show that performance in even a small set of games is really not even a good way to get a sense of someone's skill.
No, it's
Players
not.
have such high variances, and I mean, there's a lot of times when there's a strategy that you think is the correct strategy to do, but your execution of it is not very solid. And then we see something like the strategy that Neeb was going to do, and a couple of times I was like, ugh, I have fear, I'm scared, Totalbiscuit. But I mean, the comfort that Neeb demonstrated with that strategy, did not miss a beat, did not miss a single timing, just absolutely sensational play. It's really incredible to see it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was just that really big Marine-heavy play, and not really going for the more traditional Biomine style, but then integrating the double Hellbat production after that, which surprisingly effective, considering what he was up against there. Really nicely done. All right, we're going to be going to Game 3, folks. This is it. Match point. One of these guys gets eliminated. One of them gets to fight Gosu User. Arguably, they're both about as horrible a possibility. But we will find out after this break, folks. You're watching SHOUTcraft. America, don't go anywhere. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, sorry for the downtime today. We're having a lot of ladder and weird map lobby crashes. We're not sure if it's to do with game hop, probably not. It's most likely just a BattleNet bug that we're currently experiencing here with 1.0.8, but regardless, welcome back to the show, and we have Game 3 of Hendralisk vs. Neeb coming your way on Star Station.
This is truly going to be a tough map for Neeb. I think this is a absolutely amazing map in the mid-game for Zerg. It gets pretty damn hard as you approach the late-game stage, just because any step that Terran takes with his expansions is a little bit closer to Zerg. It's kind of difficult to get past 5 bases as Zerg, which sounds like a lot like, oh yeah, the 6, 7, 8 base problem, but it's real apparent once you actually start looking at the map and start thinking about how it can pan out, especially given that it's cross-map spawns. So I think that Neeb's best bet will be, again, this Marine Hellbat style.
Well, we were about to start off, but we just lost Hendralisk, so we will be right back. Well, we can talk a little bit more about it, I guess, as we go in here, but yeah, so this particular version of the map is cross and long spawns. It's not close spawns, of course, but as you said, yeah, it's a tricky map to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of map where, you know, we even saw the Hendralisk utilize the map formation properly against Ghostly User doing the counterattack to kill off the third base, that sort of thing. Terran players going for 4ths and 5ths struggle against Zergling counterattacks unless they're being very, very aggressive. For Zerg, defending the third base, really not a problem. Defending the 4th base, pretty straightforward. Defending the 5th base, that's where it gets a little bit tough. And the 6th base is really difficult because it winds up either being... well, each main has a main, a natural, and a third. And the 6th, 7th, 8th bases for Zerg will be one of those. A main, a third, or a natural. And all of which are very difficult to deal with, defense-wise.
Yeah, I think so. I certainly think so. Alright, well, we're going to be getting back into the game momentarily, folks. Here is the bracket and what we're currently looking at. As you can see, we had Drunken Boy, perfect, flawless victory. Takes out both of his opponents quite nicely there. 2-0, 2-0. He advances through with a 4-0 map score there. He'll be in the round of 8. Contending, of course, for that spot to go to New York to play in the grand finals at the MLG studio. So it's a little warm-up act for WCS NA. Always nice to see. And then, of course, Ghostly User taking a rather uncharacteristic tumble. And now we have Hendralisk versus Neeb currently one apiece. And it's really hard to call. Again, that was a very different Neeb, and we haven't seen Neeb in Game 3 yet. So maybe he reverts back. Maybe it's just the odd-numbered games he plays really terribly. I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, that would certainly be a difficult tournament career, to know that you will only be able to win every other game.
Yeah.
You might even want to throw games to make sure that you continue to get valued games on every other sets.
Still probably wouldn't work out so well. I think he would do really well at the DreamHack coin toss tournament. He would be amazing. He would be just godlike, but we'll see. Is Neeb in his comfort zone right now? We're about to find out. We have finally got everyone into the lobby and it stopped crashing, so here we go. Game 3 coming in right now here on Star Station, folks. It's currently 1 apiece. One of these guys goes on to face Gozu User in our final match of the day, and the other one will go home with... I would say go home with nothing, but that's not true. And Robinson, in fact, he's already got some cash in the bank. $75 goes to anyone that even plays in this tournament, plus whatever tips he's managed to acquire.
Yeah, and once again, go on over to SHOUTcraft.com. Any player whose play you like, feel free to give him a tip. None of that money goes to any of us. It goes directly into the pocket of the player, so you can support the play you think is awesome.
Indeed. Oh, Serenity, you cannot take the sky from me, but get the hell out if this is going to be a problem.
Quickly, get to the engine room.
Indeed. This is not shiny. Not even close. Come on. I have a feeling that this is not going to go well.
It was probably Reapers.
It's always Reapers. Every time. God damn it.
Dude, Totalbiscuit. I mean, this what's interesting about Star Station is taking a 6th base and getting into the game. Where the two like getting base 1 and 6 are the hardest parts of this map.
Yeah. It's difficult. And we're currently seeing, of course, that the attempt to build from both players is not working out so well. It's been severely delayed.
Yeah, I mean, is delayed thirds always a concern? Delayed firsts also. Got to make sure you get anything mining.
Definitely. I mean, they're lucky because the quantum time dilation will, of course, prevent any problems. I'm clicking that drop button with a vengeance, man. He's gone. Sorry.
The GLGG 1111111111.
Pretty standard Terran build there. Let's see how it pays off. God damn it! It just dropped me. We're gonna have to regame now. We can lose one caster. We can't really lose the main caster. Well, bollocks. Okay, we're having a really tough time with Battle.net today. It's actually really dreadful.
It's rough butts, man.
Yeah.
It's very... You know, this experience only ever really happens in a dream. When you're, like, trying to walk to school, and you keep, like, sliding back down the hill, so you try to walk around the hill, and the school teleports to somewhere else, and you just don't understand why you can't get there. Only in dreams and the internet can you not do just basically what you want to do. And I mean, we even know how to do it, but it doesn't quite happen.
Yeah. I remember having dreams as a kid where I would suddenly feel like my legs were made of iron, and I just couldn't run away from whatever horrible creature was trying to murder me.
Oh, yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, I had that same experience sort of consistently across my dreams. So I found that, like, if there was grass on the ground, I could grab the grass and, like, pull myself along and run with both my hands and my legs. So, like, my hands are, like, pulling along the grass, and my legs are, like, trying to push along. And now that is how I move in every single dream I ever have.
Wow, that's some crazy stuff. I thought I was weird because I got to the point where I was having so many nightmares as a kid that I would eventually just kill myself in my dreams, just throw myself off whatever high height I could find.
Oh my
because I knew
God,
that would
Tom.
end it. I think that's pretty... I don't know, man. That's dark.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I hated my, like, ringtone alarm to wake up in the morning. But you're in your dream and you're like, well, we gotta go to school. Time to kill ourselves again.
Basically, I was the living incarnation of Persona 3.
Wow.
That's how it is. Oh, man. That was... God, my childhood was pretty rough. At least in my dreams, anyway. It was alright outside of it. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bicycled a lot. When I wasn't, you know, pulling myself fistful at a time along the ground.
God, therapists could have a field day with us, I'll tell you that for a fact.
I mean, I don't think therapists would. I think they'd be like, yeah, it's normal, you know, just, you know, relax, watch some TV, it'll be fine. And be like, okay. But I think that a psych student would have a field day and write some thesis that is just...
completely and totally wrong in every respect.
And of course, there'd be no way to really be like, nah, that's wrong, because they have, like, evidence to support it and stuff.
Oh, man. Sasquatch just got in the lobby, posting, Go Henry, boo Neeb. So much BM right there from the Complexity player. God, that's just harsh, man. Neeb's on his own. A drunken boy doesn't care. He's off getting wasted in the corner with his 4-0 score.
Yeah, man. Wow, what an amazing amazing set of games by Drunken Boy. Just really domination start to finish. Really incredible. A thrill to watch.
It was. Okay, we're going to try it again. Third time lucky, we hope, here on Star Station. Again, we don't know what this is. It could be Game Heart, it could be Battle.net. It's one of those two things. But it also could be a combination of both. Just making each other worse, just by association.
Probably not us. I mean, we're really good. I mean,
yeah. We're incredible at joining lobbies. Like, I think of all the skills I have, joining lobbies is probably top 3.
I mean, we might be like top 10 global lobby join.
I think so.
Alright, there's the test 1-2 from Hendralisk.
That seems to be working pretty well.
One of my favorite features of Game Heart is that you get to choose what team you are and that decal shows up in full. So sweet.
I might get a little bit controversial here, but I think that there's way too many tournaments that are discarding the roles of teams at this point, and I think that we should see them way, way more. They should be represented, and they're not. Thankfully, Game Heart allows that to happen. Okay, here we are. Let's try again. Will we be saved by the hero of Kansan, the man they call Jane? Or will we crash the damn ship again? We'll find out.
Ooh,
or will it be a wash?
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, spawning to the southwest position of Star Station in the red trunks. Playing Zerg, it is...
Complexity Hendralisk.
Complexity Hendralisk versus his opponent. Looks like they actually managed to get past 9 supply. That's a definite improvement over previous games. His opponent from Team FXO, it is...
FXO Neeb.
I don't think there's any way you can make the term FXO Neeb sound aggressive and terrifying.
Neeb. Yeah, you can't really hold it. I mean, it's the E's, but, you know.
God damn it. Well, that's one down.
All right.
I think that was the Argentinian.
No, not this. It's CHL. Oh.
Anything but this.
Pray for us. You know, I want to take a moment at the start of this game just to note how difficult a time, or difficult a 5th it is for Hendra, or 6th it is for Hendralisk to take. So he has his natural, and then just north of that, in the middle of the map, is his 3rd. Now, at the far left position at 9 o'clock, and at the far south position at 6 o'clock, are where bases 4 and 5 will be. So that's fine. But look at the 6th base potentials. If he goes for something like the 5 o'clock expansion, this natural, well, now all of a sudden, Neeb can easily drop in the main, that's at bottom right, and run down and take it out. Or alternatively, what if Hendralisk tries to take the top left 3rd base? Still same problem, you can drop in the main, or it's just a hop, skip, and a jump from the 5th base of Terran to go over and kill it off. So Zerg really needs to do something when Terran's on 3 base, trying to get to 4. The real big goal is to not ever let the Terran player get up 5 bases on this map. It's almost always death for Zerg if that's what happens.
Yeah, it's just a pretty standard 5-base Zerg all-in. It can work pretty well, but I think that I don't expect this game to go that far. Although, it's hard, I don't know, it's so hard to say. Like, I can't tell you the damn thing about Neeb. Not from his play. I've learned nothing this entire tournament, because he plays like 2 different people in Game 1 and Game 2. So it's hard to... You don't see any consistency there. So it's really hard to call it.